Hi guys, so I would like to give you an overview of the week, what I expect in the next couple of days, and what my game plan is. So would like to start here with Solana because Solana shows pretty well what happened the last couple of days. So last Monday or Sunday, the sell-off drop started, and basically what happened is we really fell off the cliff. Yeah, right here we had a 20% drop in the market, so quite substantial. It was an interesting drop. It was a very clean drop, though. That was the positive thing about it. So we saw initial flush to the downside early morning Monday, European time, and then we had some really, I would say, clear selling price action to the downside, as you can see. And since then, we are a little bit in recovery mode. I mean, I'm not really sure if the market is done with the selling. But to me, this could be here a solid base at the 195 area to try to get a bottom in. Let's switch to the daily charts though, because I think this is the most important one to start working in that area. All right. So first of all, Bitcoin here. We are in a market which is grown, which is more mature. What I'm trying to say here is the following: the wild, wild west, what we've seen in the past, maybe these times are gone. Okay, so meaning that the crazy volatility, maybe it's gone. So right now we can see it very, very well what happened. So we have here these yellow boxes. These yellow boxes show us very clear there's an uptrend, right? Uptrend, so we still form in the bigger picture higher lows, and that's the most important one. The question for us is right now the following: if we do get here another higher low in or not. So that's the question. I don't know. Nobody knows. And we need to see what will happen. So my game plan is the following. So I have right now a position in the futures market, which is short to hedge my long exposure. On the other hand, I have obviously spot, and the spot portfolio I will never sell in Bitcoin. Full stop. Okay. So I will keep the short positions opened. If we drop really significantly under this 107,000, I will start to add a little bit more exposure to the short position. Yes, I know I will never be able to fully, let's say, recover or let's say hedge the position, which I don't really want to, my spot position. But overall, I will remain hedged if we really go down there to this 100,000 level, and there I will start to DCA again, start to add positions on the spot portfolio, and I'm really wild here to add really down, really if you should really go to the $90,000 area. I know this seems like a kind of a worst case scenario, but I think as a trader we always have to kind of be prepared. Okay, that's basically it. So I have a long exposure in the spot market. I have a smaller short exposure in the futures market. If we drop to $1,000 area, this 101,500, I will start to add to the spot portfolio and will start to buy into that. When we look at this scenario, if we really drop like that, it would just be a 20% drop. So realistically, guys, this should be allowed in any bull market to basically drop a little bit. We have seen something similar in that area when this tariff scenario was in place. So we dropped 30%. I'm not expecting this. That's the bear case. Quite frankly, that's the bear case. And obviously, if the bulls surprise, if the bulls are able to turn it around, obviously I will close my short position. I'm mentioning this just to give you a clear, transparent picture of my positions, what I have in mind in Bitcoin. And again, I think it's always good to have a kind of a negative scenario in place because, again, we are investors, we are traders, and we are not dreamers. Ethereum, kind of the same picture. I mean, Ethereum was really the biggest rally in the last couple of weeks we had there. So obviously it was trading very aggressively to the upside. There's now a fundamental change in the whole, let's say, picture in Ethereum. A lot of companies start to invest to hodl Ethereum as a coin. We had a huge rally. Now we started to kind of breathe a little bit. So we've recovered. Basically, we had a drawdown peak to valley to about 22%. I started to add a little bit at 4,150 spot, very little. And then we added a little bit at 3,850 spot as well. In the end, realistically, guys, it's in the stars. We don't really know what 100% will happen. I think adding exposure to Ethereum makes sense. Worst case scenario for me was around the level where we trade around right now, 3,850. But now the market really should start to lift again. Other than that, the question will then remain if this high is maybe a little bit too high for now. This is stuff you have to see. If you would drop in a very sharp move, in a maybe panic-driven sell move to 3,500, and will to add a little bit more to the spot portfolio. I'm currently not hedged because the positions are still small, and I don't really have a right now in mind to really add a lot until structure becomes more clear. Trade I did on Friday. I talked about it on Friday as well. So this was this bounce here. We talked about this in AWACS. AWACS had a beautiful bounce to this kind of support zone. Market recovered and moved up. Was able to make a little bit of money there. Nothing amazing, but I made money there. Same Solana. I was able to trade on Friday the recovery move here to the upside. And we will have to see what will happen there. So you can see that we have a change of trend. So we have a break of the trend line here. Again, we need to check. So normally it could indicate that we go like something like this. That this would be the worst case or the negative case. The positive one would obviously be that we can hold this level here and then go back up, right? So that's about it. I've accumulated Solana as well, spot. Why? Because I'm staking it and I'm hedging short positions in the futures market against it. I haven't started to hedge a lot yet because I think we can overall go still a little bit higher. And then if you're a little bit higher, I will probably start hedging a little bit against it. So my perfect scenario would be the following. To be transparent with you, I would love to buy more spot in this area and then start to hedge against it on the future to basically have a farming game, makes staking percentages of staking income and plus make a little bit of money when the futures positions pays interest. Okay, that's basically it. Nothing spectacular, no 500% returns there, but Solana pays. I think it's a pretty good deal right now, and this is something what I'm doing currently. Chainlink. Kind of the same thing. I still have Chainlink small exposure to on the spot market. We had a bounce on Friday. We need to see really what will happen there because we kind of attacked this $20 round number. To me, ideal scenario would be to get involved more at the $17.50 area, $17.80 area. Here, I would love to add more spot. Sorry, really, really sad. I mean, Chainlink was on a big run. I was hoping if we can break this 25 area to go up to really that we are able to attack this 31 area. Didn't happen. That's why I'm always saying, be prepared. Always focus on risk or money management and not really try to grab for the stars. So we will need to see. Game plan is here for me staying neutral. I would love to add Chainlink $70.50, $70.80 area. That's it. SUI, same picture. Long-term downtrend, uptrend broken, sadly. We had here this $1.70 really sell off. This was also when there was this big move to the downside in Ethereum. Crazy days. This was the tariff escalation, and since then we were able to recover from the bottom to the top, really 160%. Did not outperform Ethereum, by the way. Yeah, so Ethereum way stronger, and so here on this $2.90, I would be willing to add a little bit more exposure to SUI, but overall it has a little bit of taste, and I could imagine if things don't go well that maybe, not that I like this, but maybe that we visit this here below once more. What's going on? So this area we have to keep a focus as well here, $2.40. Okay, so if this breaks here, if you cannot hold this level, then $2.40 is something we have to have in mind. I know this is a 20% move, but as you know, in the crypto space, this can happen in 2-3 days. To me, I will add a little bit of exposure at the 290 level, 285, but limited because SUI again has down structure, wasn't able to make it up as well. And it will need more time. Okay, this is my troublemaker, Ondo. Ondo looks right now that it could be attractive to buy. I mean, we can see this is a multiple low 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times question mark. big question mark here. Can this hold? It feels like it doesn't, but feelings isn't a good advisor, you know. So here there's an opportunity risk-wise. It could be a good trade, you know, to jump in here, and trade it or try it out with a small stop. As you can see, reward risk, it could be a beautiful trade. I'm still not sure if I will add to my spot portfolio here. I'm unsure. I'm also kind of thinking maybe to start to hedge a position as well a little bit, 20% down, potential down move to the next major support zone. As I said, unsure. I'm not where I don't have a clear picture here if I want to add. If you don't have on the position, I think it makes sense to start DCAing here. I already have some exposure because my trade, actually what I wanted to do was something like this. I thought that we really are able to go higher, but this is now not happening right now. So for me, my game plan is the following: as I have a significant position in Ondo. If this breaks, I will need to start to hedge a little bit my exposure. That's fine. I mean, and then we'll see what will happen. And if you don't have Ondo, I think it could be a good time to add to the position. You know, for me, why I'm not adding or why I'm not sure if to add or not is quite simple. You know, I don't want to be overexposed. Crypto markets are volatile, and that's the reason why I'm careful. Quite simple. The month so far we are up, or I'm up 1.8 till about 2.1% this month. So that's okay. I'm quite happy with it. But obviously, if there's a relatively aggressive move to the downside in the markets, then obviously this will start to be a little bit of a pain. So 1.8, 2.5% up this month isn't a lot, I know, but this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for consistent returns. 2% a month is 24% a year. Isn't the best year, I know, but I'm still happy with stuff like this because over time, this will be huge, and I know that. So having said that, that's my game plan for now. AWACS to me still on the bullish side. If the market turns bullish, could be a really good opportunity. We went from this recent high here already 25%. So there's something we could maybe work with. Trend here is still valid and intact. I mean, we can debate here if how we basically use the trend line, but overall, I think this is kind of a good opportunity. H-bar, a lot of people like H-bar. Again, in Europe or in German-speaking countries, to say it's not meat, it's not fish, I don't know. So right now, there's still the opportunity that we maybe drop here. So it would be this could be another drop here of about 15%. Here I would really be willing to add H-bar. Other than that, I'm not fully convinced here as well, because again, we are in a kind of correction here. We've corrected 30%. So the market has to show strength, but to really bet that now the strength comes in at that market, I'm not sure either. Same, sadly, for XLM. Here also quite clear that the market has trouble. And in my position is quite simple. I have some spot in XLM, but again, I'm careful here. Position is not significantly high. It's about overall of my portfolio of about 1%. I'm invested in XLM, so nothing dramatical, but I am not willing here to add more. All right. So thank you very much, guys. I wish you a beautiful Sunday, a good start into the week. When we talk about economic news, let's have a look there. What comes up next week? Important events, job openings, US. Right, so that's the main focus for me. Is really US focus. ISM index on Wednesday, important, and then we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. We need to see what will happen there. The markets. So maybe to conclude here, the markets in the US. To me, this looks like a little bit. Is this the top? It could be. Maybe we go a little bit to the 7,000 point level. It could be possible. As said, I don't want to bet fully against all-time highs, but the market looks a little bit shaky. But we need to see. Okay, I mean, right now, when we look at the Friday looks strong. Thursday sell-off basically was digested. Friday looks good, so we could move up again. This could maybe free up also some opportunity there for the crypto markets. What we saw What we did see though is that the crypto market was definitely weaker than the stock market, and obviously one will pick up to the other. We will see. Okay. My approach always is the same, and this has never changed. Better safe than sorry, and especially when it comes to trading or to, let's say, other important stuff in life. If you're older, you will understand that, and plan your trades carefully. I think this is the most important thing. Plan it carefully. Have always a plan B in mind, and that's about trading investment. Thank you very much, guys. I wish you a beautiful Sunday, great start to the week, and we see and hear each other hopefully tomorrow. Goodbye.